I'm stuck here watching TV.
Welcome back. Beautiful sunrise this morning. So there used to be a recommendation for 0 screen time for little kids and just 2 hours a day for older kids, but with electronics and screens pretty much everywhere, that's a tough goal to keep. Now the Academy of Pediatrics, the American Academy of Pediatrics, agrees that there are some new guidelines. Joining me this morning, Dr. Nicholas Westers with Children's Health. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when I read the new guidelines, it seems like the American Academy of Pediatrics just tossed out the old ones and said, okay, parents, be good parents, be vigilant, be alert, be tuned into what your kids are doing. Is that essentially what's happening here?
I think that's where the main focus is going, whereas before it was focusing on limiting the screen time. Now they recognize that it's everywhere, so it's an integrated part of our society, and so rather than having the expectations of 1 to 2 hours a day, they want to focus more on the context of the digital media use and healthy digital citizenship.
Right, you talk about the context, and I think when I look at some of these apps that are out there, for example, at least with my toddler, we don't do a ton of screen time, but there are some apps like, there's one called Endless Alphabet, there's like Monkey Lunchbox, where they really are learning and really are engaged, and it's teaching them something. And these are the kind of apps that the American Academy of Pediatrics is basically given a thumbs up to.
And what I want to focus on is that to learn using these apps, it's more than just pressing a button and swiping. It was more interactive, and so there are some apps that can be helpful in that way.
Yeah, another thing they said is co-engagement counts. That means doing it along with your kids, right?
Absolutely. One of the things I like to recommend as a psychologist at Children's Health and Children's Medical Centers for parents to be involved with their child, participate, play a video game with them, or learn about the app, a new app that maybe their teenager or child is being exposed to, and so be interactive.
Yeah, and they said that talk time remains very critical for language development. Basically, that's like FaceTime, right? Yeah,
FaceTime, Skype, particularly for children that are under 2, like 1 to 2 years old, still learning the language.
Yeah.
Skype and FaceTime are going to be great, especially for parents that are traveling or for uncles and aunts that are out of state.
Yeah, it kind of keeps families connected, and I also think it really helps the little kids when they're talking with some of the older adults, some of their grandparents. It helps them with that as well. Content matters. We talked about that. Don't just set a timer anymore. Basically, it used to be a timer.
Yeah.
Now it's like content matters. We mentioned that. You say no matter the device, parenting has not changed, though, right?
Correct. So basically, we're taking the typical parenting rules for in-person to using it to media now as well, so parents can still stay involved and set limits and be good role models.
Be a good role model. That's the key right there. Yeah, be involved, know your friends. And don't forget about regular playtime, too. Playtime really is still very important. You don't want them just to be glued to something all the time.
Yeah, unstructured playtime is great. So if someone's in the kitchen doing the dishes, rather than putting them in front of a screen, give them some blocks or some toys to be able to play with.
Or have them put the dishes away with you. Or like if you're cooking dinner, have them cook dinner with you as well. There are still things they can do. I thought it was interesting that they talked about teens and online use, and they actually said it's in this day and age, that's just going to happen. Teens are going to be online, but it really says to teach appropriate behaviors with those teens.
Absolutely. So a lot of teenagers need some parental guidance still for good etiquette on social media and in media use in general, and parents can not just model that, but talk to their child about how to be good citizens within the digital world.
Kids are going to make mistakes, and so it's a good idea whenever they do make those mistakes on social media that the parents are there and ready to help out.
They're teachable moments.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you so much. We appreciate it and appreciate the information here on Good Day.